Today's discussion is about the effect of multiple amendments to the contract. Does a second amendment override, supersede, or negate the changes made in the First Amendment? Or does it enhance and add to the First Amendment? Clearly, the answer is depends on what the amendment says. The specific question from a viewer had to do with the seller contribution toward buyer's closing costs. In the contract, under paragraph 12A(1)(b), seller agreed to a contribution of $3,500. Then, under the First Amendment, seller agreed to pay buyer $1,300 in lieu of repairs, and that was going to be contributed to closing costs. As the loan went for approval, the lender asked that another amendment be executed to combine the amounts and show a total of $4,800 contribution from seller. The concern from the listing agent was if a second amendment is executed to amend paragraph 12A(1)(b) of the contract from $3,500 to $4,800, could buyer argue at closing that he was due the $4,800 in addition to the $1,300 for repairs? The answer totally depends on how the amendments were written. If the First Amendment contains something like this, either under paragraph 2 of the amendment, which discusses repairs, or under paragraph 9 of the amendment, which is titled Other Modifications, if it said, in lieu of any repairs, seller agrees to credit buyer $1,300 at closing, and then the Second Amendment only amends the amount in paragraph 12A(1)(b) of the contract from $3,500 to $4,800, without further stating that the Second Amendment replaces the First Amendment, then the buyer would be legally entitled to the $4,800 plus the $1,300, irrespective of the party's actual intent. As you know, the written contract controls the agreement between the parties. Oral statements between the parties cannot be used to change what is written in the contract if the contract is clear on its face. As frustrating as that can be when we know the intent of the parties was different, this has been the law since the beginning of real estate ownership in Texas. Agents must be diligent in making sure that the contract expresses their party's intent. On the bright side, most people will do the right thing and close according to their intent, but it is horribly disheartening when one does not, and it is because the contract or amendment is poorly written. I hope this answers your question of how multiple amendments impact the contract and encourages you to be diligent in affecting your party's intent. Allegiance Title appreciates your business, and we look forward to seeing you at the closing table. Thank you.